So I was a trainee and then I have the assistant trainer. So we had some attraction. He had a partner.
Okay,
So-
yeah. Okay, so it's like the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
Hello, ATV fans. I'm your newest host, Gabriel, and today I am joined by JJ, a BPO worker. And you might be wondering, why are we bringing a BPO worker? Now, after doing some research, we found out there's a lot of things going on in that industry that we're not familiar about. So we're gonna dive right into it. We're gonna discuss all the misconceptions and even ghosts. So get ready for this.
Hi, my name is JJ. I've been in the BPO industry for like more than 10 years actually.
10 years.
Yeah.
That's so long.
In my life.
I can't even hold a job for 1 year. So tell me, BPO workers, it's a newer concept to me because I didn't grow up here. Can you just tell me what a day for you is like?
Well, in the BPO, the main task really here in the Philippines are like taking in calls and
Okay.
servicing customers for different companies like banks, telecommunications, cable, whoever needs the service for customers. So we service that.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, it's more like an outsource. So you usually work on like not 9 to 5, well, day 9 to 5, it's
Yeah.
night 9 to 5, right?
Most of it are really like night shift.
Okay.
Because again, we are catering to like US clients or customers in different parts of the world.
All right, okay, so that's a clear understanding of how that goes. Okay, so when we were thinking of a newest episode for ATB, a colleague of mine said, we should look into BPO workers, and I said, why? I mean, it's probably just a job. But then they were telling me that there's a bit of shady things going on. So I did some research together with the team. And when I typed in BPO rumors, BPO misconceptions, we came across a video called, no, not called, it was made by Jessica Soho. And she spoke about ghosts. Is that true?
Yeah, every call center has their own Junjun. That's what we call the the ghosts in the center. Like there are a lot of ghost stories that people can tell. I myself like experienced some like when you're at a night shift and then
Yeah.
you're left alone. Maybe you're on OT. Like you would hear the keyboard.
No way.
Like someone's typing.
Someone's just like,
Yeah, someone's
Oh, no.
typing. There are some stories where like chairs are moving, something like that.
Okay, but
Yeah.
I saw Honda. This is really off topic. They created a chair that moves into the correct place once somebody leaves. Do you not have those at your BPO?
I hope we're not that high tech when it comes to the offices.
So if it's not those Honda chairs, there are
Um,
ghosts. That's crazy.
yeah.
And so you said you hear the keyboards.
Yeah.
What is like the craziest one you've heard so far?
There was this one center that I know that someone died in the sleeping quarters. Like, yeah, sadly, he did not wake up. So that's the start of the stories. I'm not really sure if people really experience it or because someone died in the sleeping quarters. So there would be stories like someone's like suffocating them or maybe looking at them inside the sleeping quarters.
So you have a sleeping quarters where you can
Yeah.
take naps, I would assume, not just
Yeah.
like a full-blown night's rest, right? And they feel that someone is suffocating. It's like they actually can say that someone is holding down my throat.
Yeah.
Do they have like camera footage, you think, of what happened?
I'm not sure.
That would be really cool. Can you imagine just people always waking up and just like looking at an edge of a they're like, what is happening, right? Okay, that's pretty exciting. So ghost stories is a real thing. And you've witnessed it. That's amazing. Okay, but then we started looking into like something a bit more interesting in the BPO world. Something that's not so safe for work. Relationships inside the workplace and loyalty. So a lot of people then would have a relationship and then cheat on their partners with someone that they're working with. And usually workplace relationships are frowned upon. I'm guessing it's the same there, but can you tell me a bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, infidelity is really just it's for everyone. It's just that it's being magnified in the call center industry because we have a lot of stories
Okay.
to share. Like for example, like relationship between agents and then their team leaders.
Okay.
Secret relationship inside a team, something like that. So,
I have to ask though, how many relationships are you in right now or is that's too secret?
well, if we are talking about infidelity, there's one time where I was with a center where I had a relationship with my assistant trainer during the
Is
when
this
I was
someone?
new.
Is this someone who is
Higher than me.
okay? Yeah. So it's like the trainer and then the assistant trainer was like watching how you.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
So
okay.
I was new, so I was a trainee, and then I have this, the assistant trainer. So we had some attraction. He had a partner.
Okay.
So-
Yeah. Okay. So it's like the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he had a partner, and then maybe because of the stress as well, because there are times where they have to coach us, and
Yeah.
we have to open up. So when you open up to someone and you get too comfortable, sometimes relationship can build. So then we got attracted to each other.
But to what extent do you have to open up? I mean, like
Because there are times where if you can't focus on work and you have problems
okay,
outside.
so like that. So they're not just like training you. There's like really
Yeah.
like because you have to be composed. I
Yeah.
assume when you're calling someone and all these things. Okay, yeah.
I
Okay,
mean,
that makes more
leaders
sense.
in the BPO industry handles a lot of things. Aside from the skills, they also handle like the emotional part.
Okay, so that must be very heavy.
Yeah.
But I can understand then. You know, you're emotional with someone, and then you're like, oh, where is this going?
So when things get too maybe comfortable,
Yeah.
then you just fall. Yeah. And then so after that, I guess it's a cycle really depending on the person, because after a year, because we became partners, and then after
Okay.
a year, he cheated on me on a new trainee.
Get out.
But so
But isn't that like the cliche, you know, like a relationship that starts out of like infidelity? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then walk me through this timeline really quickly, if you're okay with talking about it, of course. So like, you you started dating this dude, so he had to break up with his partner
Yes.
that you know of. So,
Yeah.
like that's what he said,
Yeah.
right? And then just for him to do this again a year later.
Yes.
Okay. But then did you then open up to another?
No.
You're like, I'm done with opening up to these people
Yeah.
now.
One
yeah.
thing about the BPO industry is we have a lot of team buildings
Okay, yeah.
where relationships are being built. So, you go out, you party, you drink, and, alcohol is also number one part of
Yeah.
our lifestyle. So,
It's a
if there's-
lifestyle. If you're not cheating and drinking, what are you doing here?
yeah. So those are like the common stories, because I mean it's when you're in the industry, most of the time you spend most of your time inside the office.
Yeah,
So
okay, that
to
makes
find
sense.
someone inside.
Yeah, you spend so much time with someone, it can happen, right?
Yeah.
But then I have like a few questions. Let's say a couple, and then they break up. It affects their work, I assume, right?
Yeah.
What is the worst thing you've seen? Like shouting at each other? Or like just like this weird tension and you're like, that's not a ghost. They just broke up.
Well, most of the relationships, if it's because of infidelity, it's really a secret. I mean,
Okay.
The only person that would know about the relationship would be like the circle of friends.
Yeah, the small.
When it comes to like scandals, like people shouting because of it, I guess, because they also want to save their job.
Of course.
I mean, if the relationship is falling apart,
with all
they
the
have to-
drinking and all these things, I forget that they're
Yeah.
working.
So they have to also somehow protect their job. So
Okay, yeah. All right. And what about management? Because you said that people date team leaders and all these things, but like
yeah,
management, they're just like,
agents.
this is a thing.
Yeah.
This is just a thing. We just have to accept it. We cannot fight it because it feels like it's against our
Yeah.
Okay.
There are some centers where they do not really tolerate it, and there are some centers where
They embrace it.
I mean, not really embrace it, but
Um,
as long as it doesn't really have a conflict when it comes to work.
Of course, yeah. I think that's like the
And
primary.
whether if it's right or wrong, like if the guy is married or what, as long as it doesn't have any conflict.
This is
with
just
the
like
work.
do your work.
Yeah.
We don't care what you do in the bathrooms later.
Or in the sleeping quarters.
Oh, the sleeping quarters, as long as a ghost doesn't choke you. Yeah, but maybe they're into that. No, but okay. So this just is a natural thing. You think it's just like it happens because people are so close to each other and all these things?
I think so, because of the stress and the way that coachings are,
Yeah. So,
and team buildings are built in the center.
so they open up to each other,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, hey.
Because that's
Are you
how it
gonna go
started with
drinking
my
later? Yeah,
with my
okay.
ex.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're emotionally stressed, and then the coachings, like one-on-one coachings, you have to open up and then really connect also with your team leaders and all. And if you're marupok, the word marupok.
Yes.
you tend to fall. So
Okay, yeah. I think I understand in the context what it would mean. Okay. Yeah, again, this is all new to me, and I think it's kind of interesting. But I also don't think that it's just BPO related, right? I think people just put it, like, as you said, under like a magnifying glass, and they're like, oh,
yeah.
BPO workers are like this, right? I think it happens in every single place to an extent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've worked in the fast food industry before working in a call center, and there are stories
Also,
about that as well, like
yeah.
management with the crew, but it's not really something that people talk about because they just want to eat.
Yeah, exactly. You're ordering food, you're like, why are they making out? Yeah. So I think that's something that we want to end this on, right? Like, don't think of BPO workers as just like party animals who are just like calling United States super drunk. Just like, I want to get over this. I want to go to the napping room. Oh, I cannot even. No. It's not like that at all, right?
Yeah.
Great. So yeah, it's not in only BPOs. It's just coincidentally we were talking about this. I'm pretty sure that someone watching this had an office romance, and someone watching this is looking for one. I'm kidding. That would be weird. Don't do that. Thanks so much, JJ, for sharing your experience as a BPO worker and your story. It was interesting, and I kind of just want to check out if those ghost stories are actually real.
But every building has its ghost, but
I don't know. I don't know if we
do
have
you want to
one
meet
here.
Junjun?
Yeah. Okay, guys, thanks so much for watching. Again, JJ, thank you so much. Don't forget to like this video. Please share it with your friends. Share it to a BPO worker and ask them, how many times have you been to the napping room? Thanks so much for watching ATB, and don't forget to subscribe. See you next time. I'll do the same as well. It's okay. Where were we?
We have
A tissue here. Is it gone? Oh, here.
no.